Hello, my dear professionals. Welcome back to the channel. I wish you a very happy 2025. And today we have a very interesting topic to discuss, which is why others always appear to have a better job than us. As a HR, I not only get to see the salaries, compensation, the money people are actually making inside the company, but I also have quite good visibility to what's happening around in the industry. And believe me, whatever perception you have about others' compensation or salary or the overall job satisfaction, that is far from reality. And I will take you through all the points, all the reasons that makes you feel that way and how it's not so. So let's get started. But before that, I want to mention that all the links of my services that I provide are always mentioned in the description box of my videos. Please refrain from clicking on any link which is found on some random comment. Please do not fall for all those scams. And I do not take one-on-one call consultations. I do not take. I'm a full-time working professional. I work as a HR professional with a company full-time. I just provide services via text where you can consult me. You can send me your query via text on my profile page of TopMate, link of which is in my description box. And I do have a HR course where I teach everything about HR in a layman language so that a beginner can also understand. If that is something that interests you, you can check the link only in the description box of my videos or the comment that I pin myself in my videos. Other than that, please do not fall for any scam links. The number one reason of others appearing to be having a better job than yours is that very impression of a better job is very carefully curated by those individuals, which means they deep down know that their job is not perfect. It's far from what they really want, but somehow they manage to paint that picture of perfection so that it appears to others that they are in a great job or they are living their best life, working in the best company, working for the best project, working for the best client. They do very specific things to make sure that their lifestyle appears to be fancier. For example, the expensive phone, the frequent travel trips, the expensive dining experience, and they make sure that when they are experiencing all of these, they are capturing the moment so that they can paint a picture for others that they are living their life in such a way. Many of such people desperately wait for their salaries to get credited because their bank account hits zero and they live paycheck to paycheck. And not only that, those experiences that they are showing, the work life balance they are showing, or whatever they are trying to paint a picture of, that impression is limited to few pictures taken by a smartphone. Believe me, they are not experiencing it the way you think they are. And how can I say that with so much of conviction? Because I have seen those people in my real life. I know some very close people who do that, who take travel trips just for the sake of it, just for the pictures, even if it is for few hours, even if it is a lot of struggle and was not worth it, the money they spend, the time they spend, but they still do it for the few clicks that they get to share on Instagram or YouTube. I personally know few people who are living at the edge. I mean, every single day when they wake up with fear of losing their job. They are at the verge of getting fired. They approach every single person to see if they can find them a job, but still, if you see their social media, it's telling some other story. I know the real story because I know them personally. But if a third person happen to see their social media, they will see all the blingy stuff and will assume that these people are living their best life, which is not true. And the second point is that if somebody is working at a popular brand, I mean a well-known company, that does not equate to a great salary. I don't know why people have this perception still in this era that if they hear somebody is working in a well-known company, by well-known I mean that the name is known by masses. People know about the company's name. They might or might not know about the business the company is into, the work culture of the company, the pay scales of the company. They just know the name. They just happen to know the name. So the moment people hear such company's name, that the other person is working in so and so company, they automatically assume that the person is getting a great salary. But that's not the case, guys. I mean, as a HR, I can tell you all the services companies, well-known services company, pay peanuts. I mean, you can't even compare. An individual who is working at a company which is lesser known and the name looks like just another company on the street, that person would be making 10, 20 times more than somebody who's working in these fancy or well-known companies. That is the truth, because I know behind the scenes. I hire people from all sort of companies, so I know what kind of compensation they come with when they come from these well-known services companies. People, but the irony is that people assume that if somebody is working in a known company, must be getting a great package. So that's a false perception, and if you are falling into that trap of perception, you are setting yourself for failure. So no, do not associate any brand name with any pay scale just by default. Get to know the company, get to know the business, get to know the person. And if you're interested to join that company, then speak to that person openly and discuss what it is like to be in that company and how much that company pays or what are the pay scales. And what's more interesting is that people who are working in these so-called popular brands, they might or might not be getting a good salary, but they pretend to be a person working in some prestigious company. They take pride in being associated with a big brand, well-known brand. It doesn't matter how shitty their project is. They always try to paint a picture that they are somehow superior than the person who is working in some unknown brand name company. And this I'm saying with personal experience as well. I chose to work for greater projects rather than greater brand names. And many of my friends who started with me, they chose fancier brand names, or I should say well-known brand names, rather than great projects. And today, if I look back, I am much more far ahead in my career than those people. It's not to brag or to put a shame on anybody's choices. I'm just trying to make you aware so that you can make good choices in your career and you don't fall for those fake perceptions, the fake persona of big brand names. You choose wisely so that you can earn more money, you can bring more money home, because ultimately you cannot work your whole life. You have to scale up really quickly so that you can retire well, you can plan your financials well, and you can live your life. You are not living for those MNCs, you are living for yourself. You have to choose jobs, projects that serve you, that serves your purpose, your need, rather than serving those clients or those companies. Next point on the list is be collaborative rather than being competitive. Now, when we see somebody who's doing really well in their life and is almost same of our age, or we started at the same level, that competitive feeling or the feeling of jealousy comes naturally, and we almost do not want to hear about their accomplishments. How many times it happens that you meet somebody who's doing really, really well in their life, and when they talk about it, you feel, oh, the person is just bragging. Sometimes they are not bragging, they are just sharing what led them to that success. And if at that moment you are not ready to listen, you are not ready to learn, you are not ready to collaborate, then you will lose so much in your life, because there must be something that they did which was fundamentally different than what you are doing. So there is no shame in collaborating with them. If they are working on certain idea or they learned a certain skill set which is paying them off really well, there is nothing wrong in collaborating with them to learn the same if you are interested. So rather than being jealous, try to collaborate with those people, try to see the good in their success, and do not hate them just because they are successful. Do not hate them just because you feel they are trying to show off the success that they have got so early on in their career. Next point on the list is do not ever buy into false beliefs and notions. Have you ever wondered that everybody else apart from you, whenever they start looking for a job, they get it so easily and they get it in no time? And on the other hand, you keep trying for several months, you keep hunting the job for years, but you don't find one. Ever wondered why? Because the other person who seems to have got it early and easily never told you the entire truth. You don't know when they exactly started looking for the job. They might be hunting for the job from past 2 years, but they never told you. I mean, when they got the job or when they were about to get the offer, they might have disclosed it to you that, yeah, I'm looking for a job. And the next day you hear that they got the offer, and they never tell you the whole story. And then you fall into this belief that you are not good enough, everybody else is getting job left, right, and center, they are getting it so easily. So never generalize such things. As a HR, I can tell you, getting a job, getting into a new job, it's not cakewalk, it's not so easy. Yes, if you have a referral, if you know somebody in the company and there happen to be an exact position open which you want, and the person referred you then and there, then it might be a different story. Very rare though. An average person takes around 6 to 9 months, I would say, maybe longer if the job market is not well. Please, please do not fall into these notions that others are getting easy, I am not good enough, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've tried every resume template, I've tweaked my resume in every way, I've sent application to like thousands of jobs, but nothing is happening. That's far from reality, and do not get caught up into that thought process, because job hunting is a job in itself, and it takes time, patience, and right strategy. And let's address the elephant in the room, and that is everybody's job looks easier until you start doing it. I mean, no matter what job you take in the world, when somebody else is doing it, it looks a cakewalk, it looks so easy, including other person's managers. They appear to be friendly, they appear to be really good and well behaved and cultured and very helpful in the career growth of that person, until you join their team. So it's grass is always greener on the other side. And to be honest, I've seen so many people making shift to HR department thinking that there is no work, you just get your salary for free, and there's a good career growth, all of that jazz. And then within like 3 to 6 months, they are back to their technical job, saying goodbye to HR forever. Why? Because everything appears to be easy, rosy, and great from far. But when you actually put yourself into that job, you see the challenges, you see the not so rosy side of it. So here I just want to say, guys, that every job is demanding, every job has a lot of work to do, every job has great managers and bad managers, great companies, bad companies. So do not hate your job just because you feel that all other jobs in the world are so easy and you somehow got into a career which is not good. Every job has its own struggle. Here, I would suggest to pick something that is based on your true interest, because when you pick jobs based on your true interest, you tend to enjoy them more than if you pick something that you do not like at all. Let's break it down to another point, which is work on your true desires, work on your emptiness. So remember, I gave you example of how I never chose fancier brand names to work with, and I was okay to work with invisible companies if the project was great. Why was I able to do so? What's the reason that many people are not comfortable doing it, but I was comfortable? Because I chose things, projects which I genuinely wanted to do. So when my job, my day-to-day task, my work is aligned with my true desires, I could easily brush off the negative comments where people were judging me for working for some invisible company, because I knew that I am much ahead than them in terms of everything. It's just that they do not know it yet, and neither I was interested in letting everybody know how much I'm earning, what kind of project it is, all of that stuff, because people were happy in their own assumptions, thinking that if they're working in popular brand names, that is good for their image. Other people will by default perceive them as somebody who's earning great salary, all of that. But as a HR, I knew what's the reality of those fancy brand names. I rather choose to work on great projects that gave me an opportunity to showcase my skill sets, and then in turn gave me great hikes over a period of time, rather than just getting into a brand name, doing a mundane copy paste job and getting saying 3, 4, 5% kind of hike. So the whole point here is that when people appear to have better lives, better jobs, better everything than us, most of the times it's a facade. Their flashy kingdom is built up on your insecurities, your notions, assumptions about things, and they are taking leverage of what you already believe in. I mean, your false belief. And you will be able to focus on your own life only when you're doing something that you're really interested in. Then it doesn't matter who is doing what, you'll be able to brush off those negative comments with a great smile, believe me. And you will not at all feel distracted by the doings of others, what they are up to in their career, where people are traveling, their jobs are giving them more on sites. You'll be able to focus on your own career when you choose things as per your desire. Because if you are doing something which you are anyways not interested in, then you will focus on every Tom, Dick's, Harry life on social media and you'll go crazy. And that distraction of social media is a very good recipe of ruining your career. So focus on what you want to achieve in your career. Focus on what's the next pedestal you want to step on, what's the next hike you want to get. If you are not getting the hike, then where you have to move next so that you can get that kind of money. Because ultimately it's about earning money and having that financial freedom for yourself, so that you can live your life joyfully, happily, and not live your entire life doing slavery for the MNCs or popular brands or whatnot. So, guys, that's it from my side. You let me know in the comments that what you assume about the popular brands, or do you really feel that others have better jobs than you do? What you really try to do to level up in your career? Have you ever taken a step consciously to level up in your career, or you're simply distracted seeing other people growth on social media? I would love to read your comments and hear your stories. With that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries, and I will see you in next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.